life keep changing your direction. Sometimes the trials of life can knock you to the floor. So hold your head up high, God will lead and guide you. He won't leave you, so please hold on and never give up, never give in. You're closer to the top.
Welcome to My Journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. Thank you all so much for joining us. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome to the journey. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad that you all have tuned in. Y'all know I say every week, and you can say it with me. So come on, time is precious. It is the one thing that you cannot get back. So for all of you to think it not robbery, to tune in to this particular show, to spend time with us is truly, truly appreciated. We thank you all so very much. We thank our underwriters of My Journey with Paula G, because without them, this would not be possible. So we are so incredibly grateful for our underwriters. If you are interested in underwriting opportunities with My Journey with Paula G, please reach out. Email jerryvoicelive@gmail.com or paula@paulagvoice.com. We have plans to suit everyone's needs, so please make sure that you reach out to us as well. All right, well, we're going to get to our guests, but before we do that, I just want to share a little bit of Paula's perspective today. And for today, I want to talk a bit about invisible wounds. Invisible wounds. A former educator, a colleague of mine, once said that all of our students come into the building with an invisible suitcase. And recently I got a different perspective from that, because there was a gentleman that says, not only do we come in with an invisible suitcase, we come in with an invisible carry-on bag, a makeup bag, a garment bag, all of these bags of our past that sometimes we walk through the door with, or sometimes we engage with each other with. And I just want to encourage you today that sometimes as we encounter, our fellow brothers and our fellow sisters, we never know what they're dealing with. We never know what they're going through. We never know what is in that invisible suitcase, and they don't know what's in our invisible suitcase. Sometimes, we go through the process of emptying those suitcases and we come to the table with an empty suitcase, and that's a beautiful thing. But sometimes we do not, and we come to the table with all of this baggage and so forth that we have to navigate and work through. So I just want to encourage you, if you're having a bad day, or if you have a friend, family member that's having a bad day, you never know what someone's dealing with. You never know what is on their shoulders. So reach up, say a little prayer for them, that God will touch them, will comfort them, will strengthen them, will give them what it is that they need to release some of those invisible wounds and some of that baggage in those suitcases. So that is your Paula's perspective for today. I am excited as always. This is my brother. He is part of our Positive Power family. He has truly been an inspiration and a blessing to me as well. He is a national recording artist and a transformational speaker. He is the founder of BeyondDaFence. He served 13 years of a 15-year term. I believe he'll correct me if I'm wrong on that. He is a lyrical wordsmith who has rebranded himself. He bridges the gap through his music. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Mr. David Benton. My brother, you're looking good today. And I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to this conversation.
Likewise. How you doing, Paula?
All is well. I keep waking up every morning and I can see that's a whole nother conversation. So I am blessed and incredibly, incredibly grateful. So let's jump right into it, because I want to make sure that we just get all the meat in there today. Share with the audience a bit of who is David Benton, and share with us the origin of BeyondDaFence.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Miss Paula G voice. Lady Wisdom. and I love that what you said in the beginning. That was beautiful. And I love the background. Love that background. It's
Oh, thank
superb.
you.
Yeah, superb. But yeah, David Ben, I mean, I'm a simple person. I'm a simple person, a mama's boy. And people tell me, because they want me to be politically correct because of these platforms, and they like, hey, don't say stuff like that. But that's the truth. I'm gonna give you the truth. I'm still my mama's baby. So I'm a simple person. I grew up with morals and principles. I grew up in a good home. My mom was, my stepdad passed away last year. That was very hurtful. My mom was married to my stepdaddy for 40 years. Me and my biological dad, very close, still, So I grew up, very good. They taught me well. I got a praying mom, a mom who really loves the Lord fast. So I had those gifts implanted into me, those seeds. So I knew better. And I still made another choice in life, because coming from, poverty, the inner city, we had a lot to me. But when I got older, I didn't realize that we was in such a rut, and it made me respect my mom even much more once, I became a little bit more mature and saw how hard she worked, to really, do for her children, because it was 6 of us in the household. And my dad, he got like 3,000 kids, so I got a lot of siblings, but I love him. He was a hard worker as well, and he taught me a lot, just to be a man, and the value of a man, how to be supportive to your family. So those gifts was implanted into me. Well, the reality is I still sold drugs, made good grades. I don't have that story where I didn't know my dad, my mom was on drugs. No, I knew all that, made good grades, went to college, excelled in college, played sports. When I got out of school, I still lacked a lot of opportunities because I did catch a prior drug charge when I was like 18, and I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Came home from school, was over there waiting for my cousin to come in, and police came in, and I did sell drugs a little bit, here and now and then, but that it just put me in a bad situation. I played out, took a plea, gave me 8 years 8 years probation. And to be honest, I just kept selling drugs after that. Like after that, I was like, man, I'm just gonna go all in. Sold drugs, made plenty of money. Well, became a vice lord. Feds came, got me. They gave me a 15-year sentence, 13 years, 2 months on me. And I always tell this story because it's important. I tell this on every platform. My first cellie had life in 30. He told me, prepare for home. He said, prepare for home. I showed him my paperwork. I said 2015, my out date. He showed me his paperwork. His out date had deceased on it. I never forget that. I always tell this story. Every platform, I'm gonna always tell it because it's a reality. The federal system does not have a parole system. So when they say life, it really means life for real. There's no parole. And you got to do 85% of your time in the Fed. So if they give you a 20-year sentence, we're going to do 17 years of that sentence, regardless, no matter what. You're going to do 17 years of it. So went in, I was behind the fence. I knew who to turn to. And that was my faith, my belief, my trust in God. So, people would be like, well, why you decide to do it now? It's like, nah, it was already implanted in me. Just those seeds, I never forgot them. So prison can either enhance who you are to make you better, or enhance who you are to make you worse. If you already that type of person to where you are trying to get over it, you're a grimy person, you don't have no morals, it's going to bring out that when you get incarcerated. But if you was taught right, have love and compassion and empathy, when you go to prison, it's going to bring out that. If you show a lot of intelligence before prison, you're going to have more intelligence when you leave prison. So I did exactly what my cellie told me to do, what he encouraged me to do, and that was prepare for home. And a lot of guys implanted a lot of seeds in me because they seen something in me that I really couldn't see in myself. So I was behind the fence, and I studied, I worked, I studied, I worked, got my spirit man right, my physical man right, drew good relationships, people gravitated towards me. That's when I really started doing a transformational speaking in prison because I transformed, and became a better version of myself. So when I got out, I just took those same values and principles with me, you know, that people taught me. So a lot of those guys, they still call me. I got guys right now I talk to, I send them money, I still associate with these guys, and I'm living, they're living through me. So when they hear about these great things that I'm doing, you know, it's a blessing. So I got to keep going, no matter about this gray. I'm not doing hip hop or whatever for, you know, trying to impress young people. You know, I was born in the 70s. So guess what? I grew up on hip hop too. So I'm doing it for my generation. And this is for the culture, because our culture going through so much.
Yeah.
So when I came home and I transformed my thinking, now I was behind the fence. Now I'm beyond the fence. And I know I'm long-winded, but like that's what beyond the fence stand for, because a lot of us are imprisoned in the mind. So when you trying to go beyond your fence and you be free in your mind, then that's when you're beyond your fence. So, you know, whether it's drug addiction, alcoholism, or whatever you dealing with, you trying to go beyond that fence, because we all got fences that come up in our way. I had razor wire and barbed wire, but I got out of it. So whatever addiction or fence that's in your life, the Bible says we're more than conquerors. Not just a conqueror, we're more than that. So when you conquer something, you overcome it. So the Bible said we're more than that, though. So when I came out of prison, I was more than just coming out of prison. I had way more value than that. And that's what I want to help people understand too, when they go beyond their fence.
Yes. And I think, you know, and first of all, thank you so much for sharing that, because I don't believe you're when you say you're long-winded, it's intentional. And I say that from the aspect of you just unfolded for us. And I think it's important for not only young people, but for everyone to understand. You had a solid foundation, as you have just shared with us. You made some choices. And I used to tell my students, because I was a school counselor, I used to tell my students, when you make choices, you automatically inherit the consequences, positive or negative, of those choices, known or unknown, of those choices. And then you have to deal with, as my uncle used to say, the hand that you've been dealt. So you've shared with us that you had that solid foundation. You made the choices that you made. You own those choices. You dealt with the hand that you were dealt. And then because of that foundation, correct me if I'm wrong, because of that foundation, you were able to stand on that foundation, rise above who David used to be, to become the man that David is, and therefore the transformation. Is that fair?
Very fair, very accurate.
And it's such a beautiful thing to see. And I you know, you are such an inspiration and a role model for, you know, our young men coming up. There are no excuses. You got the power within you to make the changes that need to be made, and you have done that. You know, you have done that, and you have taken that, and you're using what God has placed in you to reach back and to help others, and then to help those, you know, down the road as well. Tell us a bit about Fly High. I mean, even the title, lyrical wordsmith. Answer my own question. Tell us a bit about Fly High.
Fly High, I got 4 of my guys that I was cool with, that I'm still cool with. They my bros.
Yeah.
And you know, they do their own thing. They got their own thing going. And you know, they some good guys. Yeah. It's thundering out here, so if y'all hear the thunder,
yes,
it's real.
Yes.
This
So
is not a test.
and I'm glad you said that,
real.
because yes, at the time of this particular show, we here in the South, but David and I are in different parts of the South, ladies and gentlemen, but here in the South, we are dealing with thunderstorms, tornado watch,
Yes.
all of that sort of thing. So yeah, you might hear from on both ends, but you're right. Thank you for sharing that.
So, you know, I just want to be respectful to the platform. Just let them know be honest, it's tornado watch. It's supposed to be a tornado in Kentucky.
Right,
We're
right. We're not trying to go to Kansas, y'all, but if we do, we'll see you when we get back.
yes, for real. So fly high.
Hmm.
I just wanted to show that, I got lyrics, that I really can, as an older gentleman, according to the rap game, and I hate that because they don't do that in country music, rock and roll. They don't do that in other cultures. They can be 70 years old and people gonna support it. But rap, they want to put an age limit on, So it's like that's the mindset I want to change for our culture for real. So
you're an experience. You're
yes,
experienced, not older. You're an experience.
I'm seasoned.
Seasoned.
So I just want to get some lyricists, guys that I really respected lyric. I respect a lot of guys, but these guys I really wanted them on the song. So Fly High was just to really express that you are great. You like, we got to stop saying we're filthy rags and we're nothing. We understand what the word is saying, but don't put yourself down to a degree and lessen your greatness, because if Jesus said that him and his Father is one, and we'll be able to do greater things to him, then respect what he said.
Respect what he said.
If the Bible say we're made in his image, in his likeness, and if you believe in it, respect the word.
Respect the word and take it and fly high with it, which is something that you're doing. And I love the fact that you're also using the gifts that you have, using the talents that you have to mentor and work and coach with young people, young men. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it comes from my journey. It comes from my journey. Like I said, I had a good upbringing, but the reality is we was in poverty. And I didn't realize we was in poverty until I got older. Then when I still drive around in the inner city, I'm like, wow, man, we used to live here, But I had a great life. I had a great life. Awesome parents. I got awesome parents, awesome family, right? But I still was a product of my environment. So these young men and women, I can empathize. I can understand. The reality is I come from a 99.999% Black school. And in that school, we didn't have nothing. They just tell you, make good grades, go to college.
Right.
You go to college with no direction. We didn't have no vocational, no courses to really give us to where we can actually learn something to really get a good job. Like they didn't teach us in school. They just teach you how to be a better slave. They don't teach you about banking. They don't teach you about financing. They don't teach you about money management. That's why people can win the lottery and be broke.
All the life skills that we need, all the life skills and things that we need. David, our time goes so quickly. We only have a couple minutes left, and I want to make sure that we touch on a couple things. So with the Let's Talk Business Consulting, you are consulting and you are coaching young men, utilizing the experiences and so forth that you have, some of the things that you just mentioned, to pour into these young people and to help guide them and teach them some of those things, finances and that sort of thing. So we're excited about what it is that you're doing with the young people. Also, this particular year, you're a part of a God is in Everything conference, and you are hosting. This is an annual conference, but for this particular year, you are the host. So in the minute or so that we have remaining, just share with us what your vision is for that conference.
It's directed for the men, young men. What we want to do is have a paradigm shift. The way you was thinking, we want to enhance your thinking. Aha effect. I call it the green eggs and ham effect. So you look at the green eggs and ham is green, you don't want it. But when he ate it, he had a paradigm shift and wondered and realized it was good. So that's what I want to do for the young men. And then have the women to have a different perspective as well, because the women really got the power. The men got the strength, but the women got the power. So if them correlate together in unison and bond, then we can grow and show our value together. Right. So that's what we do. That show that we can Women are queens.
And I have the honor this particular year of co-hosting with you as the men take the lead, as you take the lead and help to guide the men back to their role as leaders. So thank you so much. I'm so honored to co-host with you. How can the audience stay connected? We'll have to do a part 2. How can the audience stay connected with David Benton?
Go to David Benton. That's Benton. Go to David Benton. Social media, period. You know, y'all know our social media. Y'all know them. And go to BeyondDaFence. Everything. BeyondAFence.org. That's our website. Go to it. Connect with us. And go to YouTube. David Benton. Plenty of videos. All the other artists. Shout out to G Will, Miss Alma E. Neely, Shay Samuels, The Jewel, and it's shout out to the family.
Yes, and we definitely want to shout out to Shay Samuels and thank her so much for all she does as well. David Benton, phenomenal. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And remember that the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still small voice? We thank our underwriters. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, embrace the journey.
Sometimes the winds of life keep changing your direction. Sometimes the trials of life can knock you to the floor. So hold your head up high, God will lead and guide you. He won't leave you, so please hold on. Closer to the top.
In my city, you gotta stay cautious. Little young boy stalking, killing everything walking. Fighting with the sharks, gotta think like a dolphin. Blicky stay barking, leave him sleek in the apartment. And it's so often, bodies laying in the coffin. Better call the railing on me now, sharpen. The knife sharpen, doped up and retarded. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm nauseous. Better find me cause I don't feel like being bothered with you. I'm the inspiration to live something like a father figure. You was born to lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to explain cause I don't got time to be arguing with you. Gotta watch the system and everyone trying to partner with you. In this corporate world, most of them ain't gonna bargain with you. Got a target audience and they ain't gotta move smarter with it. Ones being proactive usually is gonna go farther with it. Blurred vision by the illusions on the TV. Listen in prison, but we can be free. Gotta stay on point. Like CP3, you're like Steph Curry. Shoot deep from 3. Spread for, look around and keep your eyes open. Ancestors fought for freedom, man, they died hoping. If the sky's open, I'm focused, but you can see clear. Watch for evil forces in your ears who speak fear. In my city, you gotta stay cautious. Little young boy stalking, killing everything walking. Fighting with the sharks, gotta think like a dolphin. Blicky stay barking, leave him sleek in the apartment. And it's so often, bodies laying in the coffin. Better call the railing on me now, sharpen. The knife sharpen, doped up and retarded. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm nauseous.
Did it, I've done the impossible. I gotta go get it, yeah, that I better than I am plausible. My story's beginning, I catch like a fisherman, and I'm unstoppable. I'm feeling so nauseous, so now I'm exhausted, some things are unstoppable. So now I'm responsible. Tell me the things that I've already known. They said that the last that I stay in the zone. I feel so nauseous, I like a boat, but I'm staying afloat to the tide of the sun. The tide of the stars that are fading. Feeling like a lion and sick of the waiting. Sick certain people are just to go play me. Feel like I'm rich, you gotta get lazy. Pressure all the time, see the lose, they show all the negative effects to the world that flows. Sick tired, I know, see the fires that wrong. Through the pain with the things we know. Minimum mistakes throughout my life I've grown. I don't cash out, let me skim in your loans. Hard not life if you breaking your.
Oh Lord, give your life to Jesus. Come on. All you got to do is right now give your life to Jesus. Oh, no other way. No way. Give your life to Jesus. Look here, y'all. You know, you probably be sitting there right now saying, I think I need to do that. I need to give my life to Jesus.
then what are you waiting for? You need to step up. If you're sitting right there listening to me, just raise your hand right now. Just say, I receive the Lord. I accept him as my personal Savior. You need to just call out to God right now. It's your turn to turn it around. It's your turn to give your life to Jesus. What are you waiting for? You done tried it your way. Now turn your life around and say, Lord, here I am. I got a question for you. Why don't you do it today? Why don't you do it right now? Do it right now. Give your life to Jesus. I feel this right now. I feel somebody right now is getting ready to do it today. 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 Come on. Do it today. Come on. You do it. Get up. Do it right now. Come on. What are you waiting for? You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Give your life to Jesus. Hey, hey, hey. Do it today. Give your life to Jesus. Come on. You gotta do it right now. Hey. Give your life to Jesus. What you waiting for? Come on. Give your life to Jesus. Come on, one more time. Give your life to Jesus Christ the Lord. Hallelujah. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. Come on. Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.